Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm actually going to be doing an Etsy shop critique. This is one of the many free critiques I do every single month for free to give back to my community. So if you would like a chance to win a critique, I will leave the link right below the video where you could sign up. Now, if this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel, consider subscribing. I do upload weekly videos to help you build an impactful online business. And also don't forget to hit that notification bell. This is for everyone, so you'll be the first person notified of any new videos that I upload. In addition to that, if you're new to Etsy, you're a beginner, I have a lot of resources that you can find right below this video that will help you get started the right way. So make sure that you check them out. And let's head over to my computer to see who is today's lucky Etsy critique winner. All right, so today's winner of the Etsy critique is the store called Home Me House, and the owner is Natalia. So congratulations, Natalia, for winning this critique. If you didn't win this critique, make sure that you stick around all the way to the end, because everything that I'm about to talk about is applicable for any type of niche. Doesn't matter what you sell on Etsy. So just make sure you stick around. And guys, if you have any advice or tips for Natalie, please leave them in the comments below. We're trying to create a community where we all help each other grow on Etsy. So what I normally do on a critique is that I take a particular listing and I do a full audit of that listing. I talk about product photography, I talk about Etsy SEO, I talk about Google SEO, I talk about the curation of the store, branding, and much more. I do break it down into sections, so it's easy for everyone to kind of follow along and take notes as you like. So let's go ahead and start. The listing that I'm doing an audit today on is this one right here. I just picked any one of her listings because what I'm about to talk about is applicable for all of her listings and is applicable for any type of niche if you guys are listening and you sell other things besides printables. So let's go ahead and get started. So I clicked on the link here. We have the actual product. So the first thing that I want to just make sure that I stress is that when you sell on an e-commerce platform, because the customer can hold the item, can feel the texture of it, can, see it in person, you want to make sure that you add and you use all 10 spots. The more pictures you have, the longer the customer will engage with your brand and hopefully, right, go ahead and click and buy from you or add to cart and buy from you. But you want to take advantage of this. You shouldn't have 2, 3, 4 photos. You should have all 10 photos and you should have an Etsy video as well. A lot of people feel like, should I add an Etsy video? Does it really help me? It helps you in the sense that it's going to take the person longer now. They're going to be spending longer time in your store. That's the point of it, right? So the more, like I said, they engage with your photos, the longer they stay in your store, that's a positive thing because that might lead them to go ahead and start reading the listing description. From there, make an informed decision if they want to go ahead and purchase from you. So it first starts with the photo. Is the photo when they're first looking at through the feed? Does it grab someone's attention? That's really crucial because when people are searching on the feed, this is your listing and these are all your competitors. So what makes your photo stand out from everyone else's that's going to capture someone's attention and it's going to make them stop from scrolling, click on your actual photo to learn more about whatever you're selling. So it starts with the photo. I think she did a good job with her photo. I see that it's a picture. It has Buenos Aires on it. So I'm assuming it's a picture of something in Buenos Aires. So it is clear of what I'm getting. It's clear there's going to be an image. I'm not confused. So that's a really good thing. But once I click on it, I only get 2 more of it, right? So I have this one, which is a little bit of a close-up. This one here. And then we have the different sizes of ratio that you could print it, which is great because this tells the customer, hey, by the way, these are all the different sizes that you could print this digital download. So she's giving information that is a digital download. And she's also giving the information that you get multiple sizes, which is great. However, I would recommend for Natalia to add more photos of the product. And you could also do different things with adding more things here. It doesn't necessarily have to be all of them about your photo. Maybe you have a photo of you creating the product, right? Behind the scenes. Maybe you have another, maybe your video is about the actual product printed out so people could see it in a frame. Or maybe you just have a video listing of reviews. I did that for some of my listings. I'm just putting some, I went to Canva. I created a little video template of different reviews that customers have left for different items in my Etsy store. I created a video, uploaded it, and now I use it as a review. So you could do it that way as well. You could do another video asking people, hey, join our email list, link in description, because, not every single person that's going to come to your store is going to buy from you the first time. So what do you do to capture them? Because most likely they're going to bounce out and you're not going to probably see them again, right? So we need to have systems in place in order that if that particular customer doesn't buy the first time around, maybe they'll go ahead and join your email list. So having some sort of incentive or maybe a discount for first time people that join your email list, something to kind of get them in your ecosystem, right? So having a picture asking people to join your email list is really crucial. And just having more pictures of the actual product. It's really important that you fill this out with 10 photos, add your Etsy video as well. That way people are engaged and spend a little bit more time looking at the actual product. Now, the second thing I want to talk about now is your title and also your listing description. So your title, I think you did a really good job with it. It doesn't seem like it's keyword stuff. I know for Etsy, they frown upon when you do keyword after keyword after keyword, you list a list of keywords. With her title, she has Buenos Aires printable hanging poster, instant download photography for wall decor, black and white image of Argentina. So it is really simple to read. I'm not confused. It's not going to turn me off as a customer. So that's really good. What you want to make sure, though, that whatever you put here, you're optimizing it for SEO, but you're making it user-friendly for the customer. So I'm using eRank Pro, in case this looks a little bit different to you guys. And I'm just going to be looking at, these should put these keywords that she wants to rank for. These should add them to her actual title, right? Because that's one of the places that Etsy matches search queries with customers. So one of her keywords is Buenos Aires printable hanging poster. She put that as the main keyword that she wants to rank for in the beginning of the sentence, but she doesn't have it as a keyword. She has Buenos Aires picture, but this is Buenos Aires printable. So it has to be exactly what you wrote. She has Argentina poster. She has Argentina here. So it seems like she's not optimizing her title and tags for relevancy, which is really important for you to get found in the search engine. So this could explain one of the reasons why she might be struggling with getting views. This is one of the reasons, because you don't have, Natalia, your keywords and title matching. You have to make sure that you do that. So that will be the first thing that you will need to fix in your listing. And you will do the same like how you wrote it here, but just with the titles that you want to, or just with the tags that you want to rank for. In addition to that, what I saw was that your listing, Natalia, lacks a little bit of information in the sense of you need to optimize your listing description for Google so you could get found on Google. So essentially, what you need to make sure that you do is that the first 155 characters, which is your meta description, and this is a snippet that's shown on Google, you want to include that focus keyword that you put in the beginning of your title. You want to include something like a short description of what you're selling and a call to action, something like shop now or click to learn more. That way, when people find your listings on Google, they'll read that listing description, they click on it, and they come over to your store. Because guys, your listings are shown not only on Etsy, but also on Google. A lot of people optimize it just for Google, which is great. I mean, just for Etsy, which is great. But don't forget about Google. If you could amplify your reach and now start driving traffic from not just Etsy, but also from Google, that's going to drive you more traffic to your store. So why not make these little adjustments to your listings that will help you get more reach? So make sure that you fix your meta description. I wouldn't start with printable wall art. I will remove this and just have your description, your main focus tag, and a call to action. telling the prospective buyer what type of action you want them to take next. And then what I would do is make sure that here you include how to order, what you will get. So you have that here. If they have any questions, to reach out to you, right? So you have that here. So that is great. How digital downloads work, right? There's a lot of people that, I sell digital prints. A lot of people that still don't understand how they work or how to download it. So having those instructions saying, once you order, within a few minutes when the payment clears, you will get then you'll be able to go ahead and download all of these files instantly. If you need additional steps, here's a link where you could learn more. Just having those additional steps, making sure you have that information here, and make sure that, you're very detailed with your instructions. Dummy it down so when the customer is reading it, they feel comfortable buying a digital download. They're not going to be like, oh, this looks a little bit complicated, I don't want to buy. Make sure that it's very simple and that you give all that instruction. So not only do you want to include everything and anything the customer should know, you also need to include how to download, right? How to order, etc. In addition to that, make sure that you optimize your listing for SEO. So you include your tags organically. So now you're creating a listing description that is user-friendly for the customer, is giving them all the information they need to know about your listing, but at the same time is optimized for Google SEO, so you can amplify your reach. So those would be the two things. I wouldn't necessarily focus on, hey, here's my Instagram. It's more important if you focus on your email list. A new follower, okay, that's great. I love new followers, of course. But an email list is more important, because once you get that email from that customer, then later you could say, maybe on your welcome email or maybe on the third email down the road, you could say, hey, by the way, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, let's connect there. And then you could go ahead and cross promote your different platforms so they could go ahead and follow you there. But the email is more important because you could remarket to them over and over and over. And that's going to get you consistent sales all the time. A new follower is really not going to help you in that sense. So make sure that instead of focusing so much on, hey, here's my Instagram, focus more on getting an email and then later cross promote your Instagram and anywhere else that you promote your business at. So let's go ahead and look at your tags and talk a little bit more about Etsy SEO. So one thing that I noticed about your tags, Natalia, is that they barely have any traction. You see how all of these are less than 20, less than 20? So that tells me that people are not really searching for these particular keywords. And you have to be really careful with using keywords like hanging digital art. That's very, very broad, right? Instant downloaded image. That's very broad as well. That could be pretty much anything. We don't want to be showing our products to anyone and everyone. We want to show our products to people that are actually searching for what you sell. That's your target audience. So we want someone that typed in Buenos Aires printable, but we don't want someone that put instant downloaded image, because even if they come across your listing, most likely they're not going to buy. So you want to make sure that you think like a shopper, and you want to really understand my ideal customer, if they were searching for this particular print, what type of keywords they would use. And then you brainstorm and you sit down and you come up with 10 to 15 keywords. And then you need to, after you come up with those keywords, you need to validate if there's some type of search with those keywords. And I recommend using Keyword Explorer, because you could just type in each keyword. It's going to give you the data for it, and it's going to tell you how many people search for it monthly, what is the competition. I usually stick within 30,000 or less for competition, and at least 500 or more for volume of search every month. Now, if you have some keywords that have like 200 monthly search volume or 100, that's better than less than 20, right? So if you're having a hard time, whatever niche you're in, if you're having a hard time finding keywords that have 500 or more, 1,000 monthly search, but you find some that are 300, 400, 250, right, would be way better than less than 20. She's barely getting any traffic. She did a good job with the competition. Not with these two, but with these at least have less competition. But at the same time, you don't want too little competition. Something like this tells you that not too many people are selling that. Therefore, it might not be something that people are actually searching for either. So you don't want to go too low here either. I would say at least 1,000 or more. These low ones I wouldn't even use. But this is like right here. This is what you got to look at. Right now it's less than 20. So none of these are really building you or driving you traffic back to your store. So also understanding, that you need to probably choose keywords that right, are going to target your target audience, understanding what your shoppers are searching for when they're looking for products that you sell. But additional, thinking about, is my product something that I could sell on Etsy? And validating that by doing market research first. Because a lot of times we make the mistakes, I have done this in the past, that we create products out of the blue, but we never did the market research. We never searched to see, are people actually searching for Buenos Aires printables? Are people searching for this? And if people are not necessarily searching for that on Etsy, it doesn't mean that you cannot make money. You could be the industry leader or the pioneer of that new, list of things that you're selling. But you always have to do market research. You always have to check, is this something that people are selling? If so, then you need to make sure that you're wording it correctly, using the right tags that your target audience is searching for, but it has some traction here. Because these right here are not really helping you at the moment. On top of that, you didn't optimize your title and tags for keywords, so therefore you're not getting the traffic either. And then in addition to that, your listing description is not optimized for SEO either, so therefore you're not amplifying your reach. Let's go ahead and look at categories and attributes because they do work for Etsy SEO as well. So for categories, you did a really good job. You have digital prints, you have it in the right category. And for attributes, you have a lot of different choices here. You have vertical, which is great because that's what your sign is. You have geography, so that's perfect. You have contemporary, dorm, on frame, black and white. So I think you did a really good job there. Everything matches with everything that you selected. Guys, you have to be really careful with attributes. Attributes act like tags. So for instance, if you choose an attribute that doesn't really describe your product and people are actually finding you by that attribute and people are not buying, it hurts your conversion rate. So any keywords that you use, any attributes, any categories that you use incorrectly and you get your product shown to the wrong people are not buying, it hurts your conversion rate, it hurts your listing quality score, and we don't want that to happen. So you want to make sure that everything you put here is accurately, that you choose the right categories, and that you're choosing the right keywords and optimizing your listing the right way when it comes to your title and tags, to your attributes, to your category, and then your listing description. So make sure that you work on that. I know it takes a little bit of time to work on Etsy SEO. If anybody needs help, right below this video in the comments section, like right below in the video, you'll be able to click and you'll be able to see a list of resources that I have. And I actually have an Etsy SEO free guide that you could download and use. And that has an 8-page step by step how to optimize your listing and your shop for SEO. So make sure you grab that if you need that additional help. And I think that you did really good with your aesthetic. If I saw this listing or this one in a search result, I would, remember you as a brand. It is starting to look like from the same store. So the aesthetics is nice. You have a nice banner. I actually love to dress up, printable posters to dress up your walls. I think that's a catchy tagline. I do like your logo. I love your photo. You're beautiful. You're smiling. It's very, very inviting. Your location is here, which is great. You have welcome to Wild Decor Store. I would do a little bit more of an announcement as well, making sure that you're adding more information in detail about who you are. One thing that I noticed earlier, Natalia, and I want to talk about this with other people that speak multiple languages, is that if your shop is in English, like her shop is in English, When I click here on Instagram, it should be on English as well. Like her stuff here is in Spanish. This could be very confusing for customers. So make sure that if you're going to have an English store, then everything else has to match. That's why when I started my new channel for Etsy that is in Spanish, I didn't combine it with this channel, right? I wanted to, but I didn't, because it's going to cause confusion. There are people going to be like, why is she adding Spanish channel or Spanish videos in her English channel, right? So now I have two separate ones. You will essentially need to do the same. Is, if you wanted to have a Spanish speaking store, maybe have a separate one of different products, or you could have Google translate this. You could have it in Spanish, and Etsy, will translate your listings to English. So that way you amplify your reach. So you could do that as well if you wanted, Natalia. It will mean, starting all over again. But if you don't want to start all over again, which I don't blame you, what I will make sure to do is that your Instagram is in English, because this might confuse customers, and you're sending customers to check out, right, your Instagram account. But when they go, they might be like, oh, I don't want to follow you. I don't speak Spanish. So just keep that in mind. The same will be for Pinterest, but I do think that you have it. Oh, you do have it in Spanish too. The same thing will be here. It will just make more sense, because even if you have this, you have here in English, the title, because it's pulling from Etsy. So yeah, it's just, if you do attract the Spanish speaking customer, when they click on the link, it's in English, they might get confused too. Now it's the vice versa. So just keep it within all one language. That would be my advice to you. Great job for having an About Me story. Great job for linking your Instagram, your Pinterest account. So you're off to a really great start. I think the biggest challenge you have is that your Etsy SEO and your standard SEO for Google is not done correctly. On top of that, making sure that you have everything in one language. But that's huge, because Etsy SEO is how you drive traffic back to your store, especially in the beginning. If you don't have an audience, you don't have a following, you're solely depending on it. So if you don't use it correctly, then it affects, right? It will affect how many people are buying, and it will affect your sales. But if you fix that, you are off to a great start. You do have a great creative eye. So in that area, you're spectacular. You're just missing those few little things, those few little tweaks, and you're good to go. Guys, if you have any tips for Natalia, like I said in the beginning, please leave them right below this video. If you guys have any questions about the video or anything that I mentioned that you want to ask, particularly about your store, leave them below. I look at all the comments. I will be responding within the next 24 hours. So any questions you have, leave it below, and I'll be more than happy to assist you and help you in any way that I can. Thank you guys for watching. Until the next one.